Hi, have you been looking on Google, looking for the perfect gift, maybe for a Father's Day or Mother's Day gift, a birthday gift, and you keep looking, and finally you think you find something that would make an appropriate gift or something that they would use or enjoy or whatever, and then you order it and you're excited for it to arrive. When it arrives, the quality of it stinks. Well, that just happened to me. Um, it can be very disappointing. And then, so what do? Do you send it back? We ordered some pants, 4 sizes too big. Do you send them back? It's a pain in the butt to send things back and so forth. So, if those are issues you've been having, I want to tell you about some products that I make that will help solve those problems. Some different unique products that you're not going to find anywhere else. Gifts for both men and women. Right today, I'm going to talk more about products for women, but I will also Father's Day. I will be talking more about Father's Day gifts coming up pretty soon. If you don't know who I am, my name is Jan Hibbard from Log Cabin Leather by Jan. I am here in the basement of my log cabin home where I make all my handmade leather products. And today, again, I was going to really here to talk about some of my butterfly products. Now, years ago, I started with my meadow flowers design. I do it on belts. I do it on all different kinds of book covers, things like that. And I always loved this kind of design. The other thing I made that was butterflies that I had been making, and again, I've been making handmade leather goods since 1977, so a long time ago, were some butterfly shapes. And what you had back in the 70s were these butterflies here, and these were made for the hair pieces, the stick to go in for the hair piece. Well, I, loved making those, but they're kind of boring. I was just, a teacher, and I love the science thing. Butterflies come in far, far more beautiful shapes than this is. But again, needing to be a fairly thick piece of leather for what it's going to be, um, it's pretty darn hard to cut out of leather. So that's something I wanted to do for years. Finally this year, right when the pandemic hit, like almost to the day, I got my new piece of equipment here, and so I started making all sorts of butterfly things. Again, hair pieces and so forth like that, but now in much fancier shapes. Both the hair clips, the sticks, both kind of pieces like that. And those. And then, of course, I started doing things like the earrings and so forth, and some other items with the butterflies. But what I'm starting to realize now, and especially for craft shows and so forth, I can't just make all jewelry because jewelry is not really my category. And even though these are all made of leather, um, some other people that have jewelry is a hard category to get in for shows. And now some shows are starting up. I have a few scheduled, not too many for this year, um, all local to New Hampshire here. But again, so I can't just do jewelry, so I'm trying to set out to do some other things. I had, of course, expanded, and I did some necklaces. And again, I did the hair pieces and see all matching components. I have earrings that matches the necklace. I have cuffs. Again, adjustable. These are beautiful for people who have metal allergies, everything except the earrings, the necklaces and everything, because again, a similar style to attach it. So it can fit any size. So that's what's beautiful about the bracelet, because that's one thing to buy for somebody. You're not going to know what size. This is perfect because it adjusts to fit anybody. So I think those are pretty cool. So those are some of the newer things. But then I realized again, I couldn't just make jewelry, so I had to come up with some other things to make. So then I started thinking, well, maybe I could make my book covers here and make the butterflies 3D. So again, these butterflies now are sewn on inside to the leather, so they're pretty rugged, but they are actually kind of 3D on there. And I have things like the desk organizer, so these are all things that would make great Mother's Day gifts. Certainly if they love butterflies, love gardening, things like that. This is perfect to keep on a desk, table, whatever, to keep things organized, to keep a bunch of stuff in. So I love things like that. Book covers, you can order book covers in whatever size you want if you have a special size of anything. So this happens to be a journal because it has a pen at the side. I also have notepads, something I call brag book you know, that has a little photo album in it, things like that. So all different sizes you can get um, if you want to order things. These butterfly bookmarks are something that I came up, you know, this year. So this is the bookmark. Again, happens to match some of the butterfly that's on here. So I have whole sets of butterfly things. Um, so again, here are some more butterfly bookmarks and these things. So again, trying to come up with some other butterfly things. So I did a whole line of bookmarks. Then I also started to do a whole line of matching key rings and things like that to go with the different butterflies I had. So those are some other ideas that I've recently come up with. So those are lower priced items. These are $20. These are $15. So things like that. Again, the hair pieces are in the $15, $18, $20 range, I guess, and the earrings are $24. Necklaces, I think, with the butterflies are in the $30 range. So all different price points, and of course the books are more expensive, things like that. But I'm trying to think of some other butterfly items, so that's what I would like your help with to help me solve that problem. So if you're watching this, first of all, thank you. If you're watching it on a replay, I'd love to have the hashtag replay, maybe where you're from. If there's a certain kind of butterfly you're interested, I can certainly try to do that. I'm working on an order like that right now for a certain butterfly on things because that butterfly has a significance, a memory. That's what I'm all about is memories. So something, you know, if you have a special memory, I have this butterfly in a frame or whatever, so that, you know, is special to me because I happen to love that butterfly. Things like that. So you can have special butterflies if you want. But if there's any other butterfly items you would be interested in having, the only other two things I could think of at the current time are masks, which I have, again, I have some masks up here on the wall behind me. I've got a dragon, I've got an owl, I've got a fox. Haven't done a butterfly. I did when I was a teacher. Used to do butterfly masks. I could certainly do other masks, or whether just wall hanging. So again, instead of this being a barrette, something like that that was bigger to hang on the wall. I don't know if that would be something people would be interested in. So I would love you to put that below here. You know, I'd love to do it as a poll, but it doesn't seem to give me the option to put the poll in. It gives me the option to create a poll, but then I can't add it to the video or anything. So I'm not sure what to do there. Maybe I'll just post it as a question underneath. But I'd love to have some input on that. So what other butterfly type products you would like to see. I also, you know, I do belts, which I don't have here. I'm going to start working on those with this flower design on it as well. So that's something I've had for a long time. Belts being something I custom fit. So belts in all widths for people of all sizes. So again, I was going to do it in an inch and an inch and a half. I do have it in an inch and a quarter right now, so I was going to do it in the sizes I did not have. And that's pretty much going to wrap it up for now. Again, if you want to get the best deals and discounts on the things that I make, you want to join my email. Again, if you're on my webpage, which is logcabinleatherbyjan.com, logcabinleatherbyjan.net, either one of those. There's a link to join my email. I can post it in a comment below this.